because in Ohio and maybe even northern Kentucky, most of the whites that I encountered didn't give two fucks what color somebody was. But the blacks, oh my God, dude. If you were white, you were just the worst piece of shit that they ever saw. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, you got Sharpton and Jackson.
Why is it always Ohio? Hi. I'm Bobby. I'm a robot cat, VonHelton, as he calls himself, or James Paul VonHelton. If you were to ask this geriatric gamer, he was born in 1963 to two Illuminati parents. He was a genius and a prodigy to rival Doogie Howser himself. Never mind, yet, if you listen closely to his tales of woe you will more likely find that his life was less than stellar. And while not much detail of his formative years are available as concrete fact, it has been established that he is a college dropout, and at a point was discharged from the United States military. None of that bit is why we are here. A dear subscriber and mate, Rebus, whose channel I shall link below, suggested the supernatural time traveler as a new victim. My God, you've no idea just how terrible this journey shall be for you all. Let us have a look at their internet life of the good Reverend.
If you're gonna rock the cape look, which you can't do because you're VonHelton, but even if you were gonna attempt that, like, don't fucking mix it with, like, tucked in fucking dad jeans.
Oh, yeah, that show off his fucking gut, like, as much as physically possible. Yeah.
What can I say, people? You know? But, anyway, like I said in my live show on Facebook, capes these days are just ceremonial. I'm not gonna go running around.
I feel like they're more novelty, but yeah.
Town with it, especially down here in the middle of Southern Baptist territory, right? That would be kind of stupid on my part. So it's all ceremonial, but the thing of it is that it's not evil, okay? It's not fucking evil, okay?
You're using me as a meal ticket, as a way to be a martyr, as a way to get attention.
Wait a minute. Hold it. If I'm using my kids as a meal ticket, what the fuck was I doing in 2008, 2007, 2006, 2005? I didn't have any kids then. I didn't even have a wife then. So what's your excuse then, Southern Raven, for attacking me then? I didn't have kids back in 2007. I didn't have a wife in 2007. What was your excuse? I can speak for what I saw and what I know. And especially if you get them in groups. If you get black people in small groups, you better stay the fuck away from them.
Bugs me too much.
No, I think you misinterpreted what I said. I said, I think you could kill me with this. And I had this in my hand.
I saw you pull out the gun.
I didn't pull it out. I was reaching for a screwdriver. I was reaching for a screwdriver.
Whoa.
See, John Chacon told her.
Well, I saw the gun.
Well, you saw the gun in your drawer. Where it's at.
And to be honest with you, I was scared of guns.
Well,
not
John,
anymore.
Okay, what happened was John Chacon.
5% my ass, carnivorous ape. I think I've proven my point. I just showed you in that very article where in Georgia where it said the whites they didn't own slaves. It was the blacks. But it's good to dispel the myth that the white people in the South were evil and that the majority of the whites in the South owned slaves, which is just not true. When did I claim I designed it? When did I say I designed the stealth fighter? Claim it.
Not you. That's not you. I know your voice. That's not you.
When did I say that's not what
real VonHelton?
No, listen, hold it, stop fucking shit, because he's spreading lies. At no time did I ever claim.
I'm not the only one that said this.
Here's what I fucking said, if you'll let me get it out.
What I
Von
said
Helton.
was is that I had designed a space superiority fighter, that I had submitted the design to NASA, and that I got a Dear John letter back from NASA.
Not Von
That's
Helton.
all I ever fucking said.
Now, there is a lot to unpack with this one. So, I have done my very best to keep things in proper order. Any corrections should be commented below. Moving on, at some point, James, not his birth name, discovered the joys of the internet. And, more specifically forums on the internet. As I did say, there are many holes in his youth. Yet, in my opinion, the man simply must have been born a proper nutter. There simply is no other explanation. Never mind, he began popping up in the early 2000s across popular social groups such as About.com, Delphi, and eventually YouTube. VonHelton formed a persona over time, beginning in the pagan, religious debate, and atheist sectors of the threads. He would slowly endure his metamorphosis into a vampire, ghost hunter, spiritual advisor, fucking racist, father of the year. But, it did take some time. And, once he discovered YouTube, he did manage to collect a fair following. Even being featured in an irrelevant publication called Techie Blog, back in 2012. He was featured among the top 5 real-time travelers. Wow! Known simply as VonHelton, this enigmatic figure suggests he might be part vampire, but asserts he is 100% time traveler. He has provided proof of his time travel prowess by lining up side-by-side photographs of himself starting in a studio in 1857 England, with stops in 1916 France, 1945 Berlin, and ending in the modern day, in front of an American flag. Is he, in fact, a time traveler? Or is his vampire gene keeping him immortal? But, as much as the old chap wanted the internet to worship his ideals and swoon to his scabby-ass cheeks, there are always those online who ruin a good time. And, before we knew it, the magical wizard of the Demon Fighters of Kentucky was spiraling out of control. Let us see a few more clips of his best transformational moments. And then we shall move on to quite a dark spot in this tale.
Then I'm going to say the word Negro is wrong, and I'm going to shut down the United Negro College Fund, because that's what the word comes from. It comes from the word Negro, by a bunch of lily white pricks, SJWs and white guilt folk, who made it clear to me that I'm just some kind of racist because I believe that culture is what defines us. I believe that culture is what defines, people of certain ethnicity. And because I said that, well, oh my God, well, you must be a fucking racist. If things turn around in my favor within the next 7 days, then I will assume that the gods do not want me to get personally involved in my situation. However, if I do not see any kind of results within 7 days, then I will become personally involved. Simply due to the fact that this just has went on too long. So we're going to see how things happen in the next 7 days. If there is a massive turnaround, and by massive, I mean my inheritance money ends up in my bank account, that Sester property down there gets put in my name. The Frosts pack up all their shit and go back to Ohio where they fucking came from. All right. My children are brought back home to me. I want CPS to personally go in their little silver car, pick up my children and bring them home to me.
As this is a TLDR, I shall not go over every individual kerfuffle this man has managed to toss himself properly into. Never mind, from accusations of involvement in trafficking and underage rings, to petty as well as legitimate legal matters. And everything in between. The most polarizing part of this story, and what you will likely see the majority speaking on in present day, would be with his much younger, soon-to-be former wife, and constant involvement in child protective services in the United States. Trigger warning: some of the footage and details I shall share with you may be disturbing to some viewers.
I am upset at James and I don't know what to do. 3 days ago he called me a cunt, and last night we got into it and he put his fist up in my face. It was a mouse, not a fist. But anyway, put his fist in my face, and now I'm actually getting scared of him, and it's causing me to want to separate from him because of it. I don't know what to do.
Too much.
No, I think you misinterpreted what I said. I said, I think you could kill me with this. And I had this in my
No,
hand.
I saw you pull out the gun.
I didn't pull it out. I was reaching for it.
As if he was not bad enough by himself, in the late 2000s, James would meet Andrea. The pair would begin a relationship on the internet. Andrea, a young adult with recorded mental health issues as well as developmental delays, was allegedly promised by James a wonderful life. At a point, he even proclaimed to own a large estate. It is alleged he persuaded the younger woman with the promise of horses and her own farm, but, upon her arrival, nothing more would come of their relationship but drama, a tumultuous marriage, and unfortunately innocent children. The pair would quickly produce multiple offspring, and speculations of abuse quickly spread across the internet, and, as the relationship crumbled and children were constantly subjected to child services, and removal of the home, their entire thing exploded online, for all the world to see.
Got out, and I told them that I had a place to stay, so that I was already staying at the group home before. So I just told them to take me to a comp care place in Manchester, and then they would take me to back here.
Okay,
So
if you wouldn't mind, Andrea, if we could take it just a step at a time. What did you go to jail for?
I allegedly violated an EVO.
Okay, and that EVO was established by Alice Helton, if I'm not mistaken. So when you came back to live with your husband, no, it was Vaughn?
EVO was established by James.
Okay, James had established that. And that's basically a protection order that says you cannot have direct contact with him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
were going to get back.
right, and he invited you back in the home.
Yeah, I was at the home when the sheriff showed up. His mother called the sheriff. Because James did not want me to go to jail.
Okay, so he invited you back into the home when he had a protection order against you, and that got you arrested, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Like his mother got me arrested, and see, the next day we were going to go up to the courthouse to get the DVO dismissed. So there wouldn't be a problem. But his mother took the car that we were going to go in. So we were stuck with that vehicle. And next thing I know, I'm getting arrested and getting behind a sheriff's car.
Marriage, children, sex. We were talking on SinglesNet. I did not have a paying account to SinglesNet. She did, so she had to communicate with me. But it was okay. She liked older men anyway.
When I first had met him, he told me about how the world was going to end, that I needed to come up here to stay with him, to survive whatever it is he was talking about. He had me convinced because he had showed me numerous things.
I was so happy. Hey, while I'm at it, I am now divorced. Officially. I am divorced. I get the paperwork in a week. My attorney secretary just called me today. Said the judge has signed the papers. I get it. I get my copy in a week. I am divorced. Know what that means? Fun time!
It would be one thing if I really was a piece of shit, but I busted my ass working 3 jobs a day. Oh, by the way, Father J, district leader of the KKK,
who let my white wife get raped by a black man on a Greyhound bus in Tennessee and didn't even have the decency to send somebody down there to protest
as well. She was left in her high chair for the entire 2.5 hours I was in the home for the first visit, and in the 2-hour second visit as well, other than when the 82-year-old grandmother got her out. The 82-year-old grandmother lives next door and helps all she can, but she is only able to do so much. The mother is more concerned about herself than the babies. When SN tried to teach her about infant care, she would change the subject to herself. Babies charged for the hospital's stay and the SN notes speak for themselves. The babies gained weight while in the hospital, at least 1 ounce per day of each of them. When they got home, they lost weight. The infants are 6 weeks old and have gained no weight since coming home. They both had a rash when admitted to the hospital. The mother stated that she stopped holding the other baby when she turned 6 months old. When SN arrived for a home visit, the parents went to bed and left SN to feed and clothe the babies. The infants were totally covered in feces and urine. So the infants were totally covered in feces and urine. Father was throwing up due to the fact that the infants were covered in feces. No. Again, home visit notes and hospital records speak for themselves. The baby's weight gain of 1 ounce per day while in the hospital shows they can thrive if placed in a better environment.
Now, again there is quite a lot I've left out for the sake of time. However, it is worth noting that Andrea is no saint.
Like you had the mind of a child at sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't mean I wasn't.
Yeah.
Did it again.
Right, okay.
So James said that on a video that those voices told you to, kill him and kill the children. Is that true?
I had heard something like that, and it was a negative entity telling me that, but I didn't do it because at the time I was Vaughn. I was my kids especially, and I wouldn't harm my hair on their head.
This is a little sad, actually.
If I really wanted to hurt them, I would have done it by now.
Whilst it is quite sad the situation she found herself in, little participation in life improvement happened on the part of the mother of the children. Even after her escape from this absolutely pompous brick, the children would ultimately remain in the care of the state. And recently, they were adopted. Quite frankly, neither of the two should raise children. Perhaps not even have access to them. Never mind. In present day, Andrea has resurfaced. She recently gave an interview on a channel called Dove Kitty. Yet, I shall link that below and warn you the topic was mostly recollection of her lifetime traumas. And, as for VonHelton, his channel barely pulls in a few hundred views, yet he carries on, mostly speaking on his current legal matters, unrelated to the children. He even, recently claims to have acquired a trailer home estate, but, make no mistake, this man is the absolute last thing humanity needs.
'Cause they just are, fuckers. Sorry about your luck. You know, I was talking to this one guy and he's like, oh no. And I said, you know what that means, right? He said, yeah, I know exactly what it means. It means the gods are going to start killing these fuckers. Yeah, it's exactly what it means. Because now there's nothing left to keep you, there's no reason to keep you fuckers alive. You understand that, right? You understand that you literally signed your own death warrant with these gods that I believe in. Because these gods I believe in, they don't play, man. You fuck with somebody's family, you're going to pay. And you destroyed my entire goddamn family. You killed my mother, drove my wife insane, and now you got my kids adopted out. You don't think the gods are gonna kick your ass? Of course they are.
My dear viewers, this concludes your condensed introduction to VonHelton. The description box contains many links to original videos, interviews, and more. Should you choose this as your newest rabbit hole to endeavor, much gratitude to you all. Cheers.